Jackson?
Hello, welcome. We're so happy to have you guys. Have a wonderful time, everyone.
That makes Spanish, Japanese, Italian, and even the funny names of the stuff. When she's actually a part of something, and the messages can come naturally.
Think you're here, make a movie summer.
Now, if you're seated on the left side of the tram, they are going to be closing up those gates before we take off. So just watch your arms, your legs, and your personal belongings. Iconic sets. And if you've done the studio tour before, welcome back. Just keep in mind that every tour can be a little bit different, and that's because of the active productions that are happening here. Studio tour. We're celebrating Mega Movie Summer, and we are thrilled that you are here with us today. Now, I will not be doing the tour all by myself. I'm going to have a little bit of help from my co-host, who also happens to be the host of The Tonight Show. Please welcome Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour.
Pierre Coffin.
You wrote a monster movie? What are you going to use for your monster?
Hello, my name is Pierre Coffin, and I'm the director of Minions and Monsters, and I also do the voice of the villains. That makes Spanish, Japanese, Italian, and even the funny names of the stuff I like to eat.
Miso soup, tapioca!
The Minions have always been about laughter, playful rebellion, and togetherness. And this movie lets us bring that into a whole new world.
Including everyone's favorite director, James the Minion, currently streaming on Peacock. And folks, we have crossed the imaginary border between what we call our front lot into the back lot, where we house many of the sets we have here on the lot. So we are pretty lucky we actually get to drive through them, because they are used quite frequently by many of the productions that film here, like St. Denis Medical. We're going to see the exterior of their hospital sets coming up on the right side of the tram, and then beyond the hospital set, you're going to see what we call Brownstone Street, and that was used in the movie Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey.
Raise the door!
We are now headed on over to the Big Apple, what we call our New York Street. And we call it that because it looks like a street you might find in a large city like New York. And here is my co-host, Jimmy Fallon. He knows all about New York City because that is where he films The Tonight Show.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
You can see our Metro sets in the Prime Original series, Spider Noir, starring Nicolas Cage and Lamorne Morris. Now, speaking of Spider-Man, this particular area...
Really, I want to go into the character and personality
and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient.
King Kong 360. On the right side of the tram, you're going to see that large wall. That just really helps to by local artist Tristan Eaton. Now, Tristan started off doing graffiti in Los Angeles, went to school to learn classical techniques, and now makes murals all around the world. And he doesn't use stencils. He does all of his work freehand, just using spray cans. And Universal wanted to McIntyre films her show Happy's Place. And in front of those sound stages, you're going to see a body of water. Now, we call it Park Lake, and it was used as the Amazon River for Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, up on your screens in just a moment, even if they look a little bit crazy. Now, here we are in our little Europe sets, and if you're a fan of The Good Place starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, you'll probably recognize this as The Afterlife.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead. Come on, this location.
Before she was 20 years old, this was way back in the early 1800s. So by the time Universal made the movie in the 1930s, side. Now, Soundstage 50 may contain some practical effects that will cause a lot of sudden tram movement. So once again, this is a good time to make sure all of your left side of the tram where they're filming. So see how they have all of those lights set up. They've got the bag of cash and the yellow crowbar. So those are props or items the actor is going to use within the scene. Now we're starting off with a small tremor, so please be prepared for sudden tram movement. And now a much larger earthquake. Hang on. 5 earthquake, the big one, and I lied. We're not filming anything right now inside the soundstage. But hey, that stage was built to demonstrate to the studio tour. To use the restroom, remember, pull the red cord to get my attention. I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so, but do remain seated, especially in Amity Island. We are experiencing a bit of a shark issue, but our veteran diver George said he was going to capture the shark, and he did it. He hung her up. She's smiling. She's ready for her close-up. George is not back in his police book. I think he's still... Yep, he's still out in the water, and he is not alone. There is another shark out there with him. Oh boy, let me see if I can try to get a hold of George up there. Hey, George, buddy? George, big shark headed right towards you. You gotta get back to the boat. George. So George has decided to enter hand-to-hand combat with the shark, which is very odd because sharks don't have hands, they have teeth. Very, very sharp teeth. Yeah, he found that out the hard way. Well, it's too late for him, but it's not too late for us. We're going to hide behind these highly flammable gasoline barrels so nothing can possibly go wrong. The shark took the bait on the white barrel out there in the water, along with the entire pier, and that's gasoline. Fire is fantastic news. Sharks hate fire, so don't worry. The shark is not going to appear anywhere near the tram. That was one fearless shark, probably because it's a practical weather effect. We'll start off with thunder and lightning, which is created by using speakers and strobe lights that have been placed on top of the building so the camera won't be able to see them. Now for rain, we're flood effect in her music video Judas, but she didn't want to use a stunt double. She requested to stand in the middle of that flash flood herself. Also did a big dance number for that music video right here in Old Mexico. And now we are headed into 6 Points, our Western sets. And here is my co-host, Jimmy Fallon. He's going to show you how these sets straight. And this is one of our larger residential filming locations. You can see it in the show The Burbs, starring Keke Palmer. It is next to a Decepticon. We've got Biff's car from Back to the Future next to the futuristic vehicles from Back to the Future Part 2. And around the corner is... We're doing the 60th anniversary of the studio tour because the Hollywood sign was celebrating its 100th anniversary. Now, folks, I'm always a little bit nervous to go past the Psycho House with Norman Bates. No, I made a sudden movement. Car 4, it was nice knowing you. That was a really close call, but we have escaped Norman Bates for now. And here we have Steven Spielberg and starring Tom Cruise. That is a real 747 that Paramount Pictures purchased from the plane graveyard out in the Mojave Desert. They created this
Possible material and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Playground, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jude Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sharon. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No?
movie Summer. Here to tell you more.
Like the one that you're seeing right now, and went out on the oceans of the world with our IMAX camera and with our incredible cast led by Matt Damon.